Ladies, the day is fast approaching and you should be excited. As the men can testify, this is a day when you will bask in glory. Right on the heels of the Men Gather Conference comes the 5th edition of My Great Prize, and hopefully I can excite someone who is not sure whether it is for her. Maybe after seeing this video you will also challenge yourself to bring your 10 friends to attend. Phaneroo conferences have a reputation of improving themselves. That is to say that they always seem to excel beyond the last one, with a team that is committed in the pursuit of excellence and a number of cheerful givers and volunteers by the thousands. Imagination is the only limitation. The standards have always been high at Phaneroo, representing God as best they can. For a bit of context, the Men Gather Conference increased by the thousands in attendance this year, with several companies partnering in the exhibition hall. More participation from the men in the physicals, wrestling and archery. Though the absence of the roundtable talk was noticeable, it was substituted with arguably more significant guest ministers. All I am saying is that this women's conference comes after the 9th anniversary last year and the 7th Men Gather Conference this year. Progress is more probable than possible. The South African worship minister Ntokozo Mbambo left a mark in Uganda that the rain could not undermine. The chief guest session was definitely the highlight of last year's colorful event, with some songs permanently joining the Phaneroo choir's playlist. But she wasn't the only one present. Dr. Pat Francis was also very much a gift from abroad. There were also other nations and cultures that made their way from across the world to share in this event. It is definitely a challenge to find such a beautiful experience in the Ugandan calendar. Excitement sparked with only one guest minister announced so far, international singer Mercy Chinwo, the others being withheld at the moment I made this video. It is hard to imagine that this year's edition could fail to carry on the momentum from where it stopped last year. I think we can all testify to moments when we have not fully understood an important message in terms of spiritual direction. However, I think that has not been the case at Phaneroo, especially in 2024. Igniting the Praying Woman feels like a part 3 of a movie if part 1 was priestly consecrations. This was the theme of the night of prayer as the church crossed over to 2024. In my recollection of the sermon, emphasis was on the significance of our prayer lives and the results that would come from it. The New Year's prayers have been followed by Fridays designated to prayer and the Priest Men Gather Conference, which align neatly if you were to ask me. It definitely allows for more in-depth conversations on the times and seasons we are in, as well as to remind us of important things we could have forgotten, since the conference will find us already in the second half of the year. Things that were hinted on are being fleshed out, and questions one might have had earlier are being addressed. This can only help in the long run. If you're not yet sold on the conference from my perspective, maybe you should hear from the ladies of the house. In case you would like a video on my run-through of last year's edition, leave it in the comment section. Previous editions as well as the Women of Faith talks are at your disposal on the Manifest TV YouTube channel. There is no downside for your attendance, and I wish for each and every one of you to be there. Till next time, à bientôt.